All right, ladies and gentlemen, third tries the charm. This time with feeling. We have KSM versus KSC. Kill Steal. This is the Kill Steal Civil War, but I feel like this is more like the Restart Civil War.
This is so far. This has been the Restart Civil War. You're 100% right.
Right. So KSM up 1 in this best of 3 because of KSC bringing an illegal lineup. Let's see if KSC can claw this back and get us into a game 3. Raptor, do you want to talk about KSM or just go? What do you think, sir?
I'll give the quick brief look at their lineup. I've kind of been doing builds as we go by here on the camera, but basically KSM fielding Ohio, St. Vincent, Brisbane, Double Salem, and Minotaur. A whole lot of Her Majesty's Navy there in that lineup thus far. And then Vampire Deuce, a gearing, a fairly standard torpedo build, a concealment gearing, and Wombat with the smoke mod. And then Ganser's Alvaro de Basan, which I'm going to be fascinated to see how they deploy and utilize that ship on this map. So we didn't get a chance to look at the KSC lineup before the restart, Zath. Talk to me about what we got going cooking at the bottom end of the map.
Yeah, so KSC is bringing a legendary or unique upgrade Kremlin and a, I guess I could say a sniper / tank build Vermont. Heading over towards the alpha side of this rather large map is a unique upgrade Des Moines with a torpedo and smoke spec unique upgrade gearing. Storm in the Stalingrad going to the typical Stalingrad position south of B-Cap with a reload build. A Z-42 getting ready to go backwards into B-Cap. And moving towards the sea side of things, the right side of the map, we've got a Napoli with range and secondary build. We've got a Des Moines in front of him with a unique upgrade. And finally, we've got a torpedo smoke spec gearing on this side as well. And we already see the Vamp Deuce smoking Ollie's Salem into the sweet spot north of, what is it, Echo 5 Island?
Yeah, this was the play that they were just starting to make when we had to do our little mulligan last game. Remember, Kleber and Schlieffen are on the ban list for this map, so that's why teams are not fielding either of those ships. I love this position, right? We watched other teams for this Salem / Des Moines slot. We watched other teams make this play with smoke or crawling smoke or something. But Ollie is now lit. I'm going to be curious to see if they try to get shells over this island onto him. But with him nestled up here, I don't think they can.
Pikachu absolutely can. He's got the plane going up. That town there, we've seen Salem, we've seen a Des Moines go up. Because of that town, it gives just that right amount of space for Pikachu's Vermont to hit this spot. As you can see, he hasn't shot yet.
Pika can absolutely get these shells over. It's the Kremlin that can't because of this giant rock. I don't think there's any way that those shells will come over, not with the Kremlin arcs.
Yeah, Pika's
obviously waiting. He's waiting.
I'm gonna go and spectate over. So this is a 15.5 kilometer shot that Pika is waiting on. He's waiting to see what Ollie is going to do to dodge.
Ollie might have to reverse just a little bit farther here as well.
And here comes the salvo.
Here we go. Pika looking for these cross shots. Let's see if they've got the arc to get over.
They do not.
They do. They get over a little bit. Looks like he takes one good solid hit there.
Yeah, 1 or 2 full pens, and that's about it. Pika's a little bit too close. He can't arc appropriately over the island.
Vampire Deuce and Z42 having a bit of a duel here over the B cap. As the Minotaur over here at A, that's I Am Oyman, goes diving right into the cap. He's going to be there parked out for a while, I suspect. And over at C, Wombat's gearing, trying to reverse to the top of the cap. Shogun's gearing, trying to smoke Warped Chaos's Des Moines up to the... Oh, no, Warped is actually turned around. Set to kite from over here.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, and you got the Napoli heading towards the Fidget Spinner Island, along with John the Pickle Salem and Swag Over 9000 Boys St. Vincent, both heading that direction as well.
Last Vermont salvo went in on Hydro Abuser's Vampire Deuce. Again, nothing doing. Pikachu not coming up with any real damage there.
Yeah, he's just too close. I mean, they put him in there to probably help deal with whatever's at B, but he can't arc the shells appropriately from there.
Now, Well Done's Kremlin just moved up and smashed Ollie right through the bow for about 15k there. I mean,
as you do.
Salem can't withstand firepower of that magnitude, Zath.
Definitely not. And the big problem is he's detected, and is going to stay detected for at least another 9 seconds. Here comes the next salvo from Well Done, ×3. To the face!
Oh!
To the face!
Wow! That has to have been at least 3 Citadels right through his nose.
I mean,
Brilliant.
ouch.
Brilliant salvo, solid battleship position. And you know what I love about this from KSC, Zath? They knew, or they highly suspected there was going to be a cruiser there.
Yeah.
And these early battleship positions were designed to crush it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Between Pikachu's cross shots and Well Done's Kremlin, they knew they were going to have to dig somebody out of there, and they came ready for it.
And even with Pikachu missing, you could see the impact that had on that Salem. He knew he couldn't go farther back.
Pucker factor 9,000 for sure.
We've had a lot of brown alerts already today.
We have had a few. Raiden coming under some focus fire here at the bottom end of the sea cap, under the Brisbane radar from Malikan off to the north. Counter radar going out, shells going in on Wombat as well, but Raiden coming out worse on that exchange.
Yeah, I think so. But I'll tell you, KSM's got this really nice push set up if they're going to choose to do it.
I think that's the question, because KSC is set to receive, Zath. Look at their lineup over here at the sea cap. Everybody is set. Pikachu's guns are looking, just waiting for somebody to give him a shot. In fact, he's taking a salvo on the St. Vincent right now.
He might as well. What else has he got to shoot at?
But you can't see anything else, and those guns aren't going to reload themselves, so...
Nope. Meanwhile, over at A, look at Well Done ×3's Kremlin. He's actually backed up and moved to the side to face the Alvaro de Bazan. Now, we haven't talked about that ship yet. It's our first Spanish ship I think I've ever seen in King of the Sea. What's so special about it, Raptor?
I think I've seen one before, but it was in the early stages. I've never seen one this late. Bazan is primarily a gunboat, if memory serves. I haven't played a whole lot of it. I know that it's based on the same hulls as the Italian destroyer, so she's not super stealthy, pretty solid guns, and then fairly weak torpedoes. What else am I missing, Zach?
I think you got that covered. I was just taking a look at the consumables. I agree with you. Relatively new ship, and a lot of new ships for us to kind of keep straight. Although he is backing up there, it looks like he's got engine boost active. He's got a smoke active.
Now, Oyman's Minotaur is definitely in trouble here. He's snuggled into this island to try to dodge as much of this incoming fire from the Des Moines and the Gearing as he can. The Kremlin has moved up to proxy spot him, so there's no way for this Minotaur to go dark. They're just trying to burn him down.
Look at the tip of Well Done 3's Kremlin, just like sitting there like, I know you're there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, Oyman is trapped. He can't move. He can't go forward. The Kremlin will own him. The odds of him going out there and taking the Kremlin with him with the torpedoes, I mean, it's possible, but man, that's unlikely.
That's his only play. Or just sit here and get whittled to death,
I would say he's not going to make it. He's just going to sit here and burn to death, apparently. Although he is finally dark. They're fishing for him. French radar, as you like to say.
Oh, yes. He is being nibbled to death by cats.
Nibbled to death by cats as there he goes. So 2 kills here in the early going for KSC. Well, I say early going. We're 8.5 minutes in. But KSC picking up 2 kills on impactful cruiser positions they either knew or strongly suspected were going to be there. Came ready for it with a plan. Dealt with them both. They're going to pick up A here in a sec. They've picked up B already.
And they're still waiting for KSM to actually do something. They're just kind of like, come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, the KSM push down the 910 line just seems to not really exist. They're just all sitting here.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, if you're KSC, you've got a lead. You've got a 200-point lead. The game's nearly half over. What's the rush? Just sit there and wait for them.
Right.
If they don't come, that's their problem.
That's right. Exactly. Our Hulk's Ohio trying to stem the bleeding over on this side, at least to slow down the enemy push.
Remember, our Hulk does not have any captain skills, so his survivability is going to be a little reduced off of what he would prefer.
That's right. That's right. The captain's on a training exercise right now.
Yes, that's it.
I do like the positioning of the Stalingrad, though. Storm has moved up, and he is just sitting right on our Hulk's rear.
Well, they've got a nice lock on the B cap, really, from the Stalingrad in that position, right? The Z42 covering the cap down here. He has his hydro available. Well, it's down at the moment, but when it is available, it'll be useful.
Hey, the push
and
is
if
happening.
you need it, there we go. And if you need it, you've got Storm's radar. Now they are doing a good job. Ganser is just murdering poor Well Done's Kremlin. He still hasn't capped and has farmed tons of his HP.
Spag over 9,000 boy on the 9 line is pushing. Salem is coming around that fidget spinner island. Warped Chaos.
He's pushing.
Smacked in the face.
He's pushing by himself, though. There's nobody with him.
Yeah, I'm surprised that John the Pickle didn't move with him.
Like, why would you make this play without friends? Swag is a St. Vincent. He's not invincible. He can sustain a lot of damage, but he can still die.
Yep.
In fact, that looks like what's going to happen right here.
Yep. Almost gets the trade with Warped Chaos. Now it's just up to the Funny Torp.
Let's see if the Funny Torpedo was aimed correctly, and survey says it. Whoa! It would have, but Warped does a brilliant job of maneuvering there with the legendary module and ducking out of it.
That's right. It feels like what we just saw with SCCC shoving that Vermont down the 910 line without the support of, was that Griefer's Marsili.
Yeah. 3 ship and a cap lead here for KSC, looking solid in game 2. They having had that unfortunate forfeit in game 1, coming into this down a game, needing a win to stay alive. Well on their way, but I think they are too. I mean, as I look at this from KSM, okay, you've got solid control of C. That looks like they're going to try to make a play for the B cap. They're moving the Brisbane through the gap, possibly, but I mean, they have no anchor on the C flank.
They want to move Malikan, but he's detected, so I
he's radared in there.
Yep.
Showing a little bit too much, perhaps, to Warp Chaos's Des Moines. Just waiting for the AP salvo, but I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it's like, do you take the Vermont,
here it is,
or do you? So he's trying to avoid the Vermont cells, but he gets hammered on both sides.
He gets double teamed. The Le Moyne on one side, the Storm Stalingrad on the other, and now it's a 4-ship lead.
Well, we always love game 3s, Raptor.
Well, guess what, Zath? I got good news for you, buddy. And it's even a map that you and I have been begging to see played since day 1, because basically nobody has. I haven't seen it. Most teams have been banning it. We're going to be headed to Islands of Ice for game 3 very soon.
Yeah, that's my map, baby. I've seen it once or twice so far.
I know we saw it on day 1 because everybody played it on day 1.
I did
King Viper acquitting himself really well here across the B cap. He's going to take Chinese Hydro with him, I think, but he is going to. I think they're going to trade here.
Oof.
No,
nope.
Chinese alive on 18 health.
There it goes.
There he goes. Viper's going to make the trade. He'll do that all day long now with KSC having a huge lead.
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually covered I did a deep dive of, I don't remember the teams off the top of my head, but we did look at Islands of Ice. It was a lot of fun to take a look at. I am looking forward to the next map.
It's going to be entertaining, Zath, because, we've talked about the challenges that teams have adapting to the new cap layout, the particular quirks of that map. It's going to be fascinating to see 2 teams of this caliber see how they play it, what strats they've come up with.
Absolutely. Wombat probably going down here, 604.
Yeah, he's trying to stay alive through this radar. Doesn't quite manage it. Everything coming up KSC here in game 2 after their unfortunate forfeit in game 1.
Pikachu gets the the Salem as well.
Looks like he had just started to come out from behind Fidget Spinner just a bit to fight Quicksilver's Napoli and did not survive the experience.
No.
The last surviving KSM ships all the way over here on the 2 line. Ganser's Bazan in the cap against Well Done's Kremlin, who's right across from our Hulks, Ohio.
At this point, I'm sure our Hulk is like, all right, let's just end this so I can please get out of the training room and fix my lineup.
Go spec my captain. Ganser will go down here.
There it is.
Gets us just seconds from a KSC win. Not going to be a flawless victory for KSC. I mean, they gave up King Viper, but I mean, at the same time, it was, once you've got a 3 or 4 ship lead, losing a ship like that. Not a catastrophe, especially when he traded well. And he did.
Absolutely. So that takes care of game 2. We are now
It took a while to get there, but we finally got to game 2.
It did not disappoint. The wait was worth it.
The wait was worth it indeed, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, listen, we're tied up at a game apiece now after all the technical problems we had to get to this point. Let's head back to the studio. We can chat a little bit about this game and get ready for a fascinating Game 3 on Islands of Ice.
Sounds like a plan.
General quarters.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 here of this top 8 match in King of the Sea in North America. We're bringing you KSC versus KSM, Kill Steal Civil War. Welcome to Islands of Ice. Zath, talk to me about the KSC lineup here, spawning in green.
Will do. So KSC bringing a Kremlin with unique upgrade. There's Pikachu's Vermont again, which is kind of sniper spect. A little bit of a cruiser, who's going where between the DM, Des Moines, and the Salem. Salem bringing range, Des Moines bringing unique upgrade. We got the Storms Moskva with unique upgrade heading to the traditional radar cruiser island between A and B. Now the cap layout change has meant that you can no longer park a Des Moines in that spot and cover all of A under radar. So Moskva's moving there instead. We've got Raiden in front of him with a smoke and torp build unique upgrade gearing. There goes the smoky smoke. We've got a Ragnar with the other smoke torpedo spec. Ooh, actually, it's not so much torpedo spec gearing with salt. And then we've got King Viper Z42 going for the middle of the map. We're already going to see a destroyer showdown here, I think, momentarily. Raptor, what do we got for KSM?
KSM trying to find a way to keep it under the top 4 today, looking for a win. They are fielding Vermont. That's a Vermont of their own here. That's swag over 9,000. Looks like a pretty similar build, accuracy build there. Our Hulk's Kremlin over here, he has spec'd his captain this game, going for a traditional reload build. They have a 4-cruiser lineup. Kingsman Marseille here with a RPF on a Marseille. It's a little odd, but some heavy AP as well. Ollie this time in a Napoli, getting rid of the Des Moines, going for a range build Napoli here. John the Pickles Howden Liu just kind of playing in the mid, reversing back towards mid. Howden Liu on this map is an interesting pick. Curious to see how they play that. And over here we have Oyman's Des Moines. Oyman was in the Minotaur last game. This time in a Des Moines, a legendary build Des Moines over here. He's fronted by Ganser Sarugamo, who is running that Blaze It All smoke upgrade there in slot 5. And then in the middle we have Chinese Hydro Abusers Z42. We saw them using Z42 last game. Kind of a mix between torpedo and gun build there. It's got torpedoes in slot 3, but guns in slot 6. And then Malakin's Ragnar caught out on radar here by the Storm.
Showing
right
exactly why the Moskva is
range.
needed up there. Yep.
That Moskva position is so strong, Zath. So strong. That huge... I mean, look how much area that radar covers. Just crazy.
Absolutely, yes. In fact, it also covers almost all of the B cap. It does cover all of B cap.
Covers all of B and all of A from that position. So if you're KSM, you have to be thinking or looking for a way to try to root him out of this spot.
Perhaps that's why you bring the Gun Liu.
Yeah, maybe, because you're going to really, really struggle to own or at least make inroads at either cap while that Moskva lives. Speaking of, Sate's gearing also picking up C. So KSC getting up some early points here. So many of the KSM destroyers are raid for A and B, almost like they were going to surrender C to begin with.
Yeah, interesting that, the cap layout changes everything, right? It forces you to go more off to the sides. And so, similarly to Loop, you got to decide which cap do you want to fight over.
Alikin's Ragnar taking a lot of hate early here, kind of losing, coming out on the wrong end of an early gun duel here with King Viper Z42, but Ragnar's also backed up. I mean, he's got Hatake and King Viper gunning for him.
Just a reminder, KSC banned Kleber, KSM banned the Brisbane. Malakin in trouble.
Yep. Malakin goes dark just in time for Hatake's Ragnar radar to pick him up. They're going to shave some more HP off of him
Engines
before
out.
he gets away, assuming he can make it away. Because he's on fire now.
And his engines
outside
are out. Yep.
Even outside the radar bubble, he's still lit.
King Viper Z42 shells coming in now, trying to do some talking.
KSC smelling blood in the water, realizing they can pick up an early kill, and they do.
First blood going to KSC. 4.5 minutes.
So now up a ship and up 2 caps already. KSM on the back foot.
Chinese Hydra Abuser took some shots. He's being forced back as well now. And Raiden's gearing is getting in position to drop another smoke screen to help Storm move if he needs to. I don't think Storm needs to, though.
I think Raiden is kind of just assigned to him to keep him alive, right? Do you remember way back in the day, many moons ago, we used to play, when we were playing Supremacy League, you'd play Tier 8. The tournament was at Tier 8, and Benson was the destroyer. At the time, you could only play Benson or Kagero. Benson or Fubuki. Sea-Hull Benson or Fubuki, actually, was at the Tier 8 Japanese destroyer at the time. And as the destroyers, you would learn to rotate smokes across your battleships. This was an era when smoke was complete cover, even if battleship firing from smoke was invisible. And so you basically were assigned to a specific battleship. It feels that way with Raiden's destroyer right now.
Yeah, it feels also bad for Chinese Hydra Abuser, who's just getting Robocopped here. He hit the brakes, the shells flew right by, but then everybody just kind of shot at him again, and now his engines are out.
He is still alive, but man, those Moscow radars definitely taking their toll.
Absolutely. Now John the Pickle trying to Dutch oven the Storm, just coming up with basically nothing for his trouble.
6 minutes gone, and it's everything coming up KSC so far. It's a 320-point lead and growing. KSM has not stepped on a cap yet, nor have they scored any points.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to form a push up the 9-10 line. But our Hulk has been discovered. That's forcing him to change his course. I think he's anticipating torpedoes, but that change actually, Sate's going to get... Yeah, this might hurt in about 30-45 seconds.
Well, they're trying to form a push up both the 1-2 line and the 9-10 line as well. You've got 3 ships in each position. Ganser's Harugamo just taking a big hit right there. He's bow to bow with Quicksilver's Salem.
Yep. And now the Moskva's able to shoot as well. Raiden Shogun can probably shoot from there too. Here come all the torpedoes on our Hulks. Kremlin.
Oh, wow. How many of those did he take, Zath? Like 6?
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. So
those were gearing torpedoes? Surely not.
Those were gearing torpedoes. Sate fired those. He waited for our Hulk to change course. Our Hulk committed to going along the island, and he paid the price for that.
Ganser's Harugamo goes down way over on the 1 line. Able to focus him out between the Salem and Storm's Moskva.
The enemy is about to win.
Now this push up the 9-10 line seems to have just stopped, Zath.
Well, yeah, you know, at Anchors Away Hornet, Boggsy asked the question, what ship has the highest health pool in the game? I raised my hand. He looked at me and said, Zath, stop. I put my hand back down. And he told everybody it is indeed the Kremlin. I'll tell you, that hit point advantage just evaporated with those gearing torpedoes. And with that, the push on this 10 side.
Yeah, big time. Now they've rotated Chinese Hydro Abuser all the way over here to the 2 line. I think they're trying to, since the Harugamo's down and they've acknowledged they're not going to be able to break into B, they're trying to bring him over here.
I feel like they're just trying to go. I mean, Pickle.
Look at Swag's Vermont.
Yeah. There goes our Hulk. This game is pretty much over.
Wow.
This is pretty much over.
I'm surprised that Swag took that shot at Pikachu. He did. I was expecting him to maybe try to punch Storm in the bow. I would have expected the Vermont guns to be able to punch through a Moskva's bow armor. Am I wrong? Do the armor thresholds not work?
He has to, I believe he has to aim in for the upper part of that bow. It does have that 50mm icebreaker bow on the bottom. So he should be able to punch through the bow.
That's right. He has 457. He doesn't have the Yamato guns. He's missing that extra 1/10 of an inch there. Okay. Yeah, This is basically all over with the crying. It's 25 seconds left in this game. KSM just down 4 ships. They did finally cap A, but it's a Pyrrhic victory at best.
Oh, absolutely so, yes. John the Pickle going in now. He's just being shot at by everybody that's coming through CCAP.
Well, it's really just Tatake farming him now.
Kind of all that's needed.
Pretty much. I mean, it's a wall-to-wall KSC victory here, flawless victory for KSC here in Game 3.
Flawless victory. So KSC, despite throwing away that first game, comes back with the reverse sweep, winning 2 in a row.
Woo! I gotta say, Zath, one of the things that I like about KSC is I love their strats on both of the 2 maps that we got to see them play, right? I love their Land of Fire strat. They came ready to dig those cruisers out. I think the IOI strat here, getting that Moskva in, is very aggressive, but I like it because it gives them almost a dominating position over those central cap areas.
I mean, these guys are reigning champs of King of the Sea for a reason, and we saw a little bit of that in these 2 games. They're short, they're but glimpses. I have a feeling we're going to see more of them later on, probably tomorrow, huh?
Yep, I have a sneaking suspicion that we should see them today. We still have a semifinal match to cast later, so we may see them again. It's going to depend on which match we decide we want to cover.
All right, well, let's send it back to the studio and start thinking about that.